أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. uh, Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I'm going to teach you with detail regarding the assets, the characteristics of the assets and the types of the assets, distinguish between the types of assets. First, we have, according to the characteristics, two types of assets, tangible assets and intangible assets. What does it mean, tangible and intangible? Tangible assets are those assets which have physical shape and they can be touched, such as land, home, factory, warehouse, machinery, equipments, computers, furnitures, stationery, and so on. They are tangible. And intangible are those which have existence, but they have no physical shape. They are just services which are provided by different organizations such as educational services, health services, IT services, technical services, mechanical services, engineering services, and so on. These are, not engineering services, just IT services, health services, educational services. And also the engineering education could be also a type of the assets, intangible assets, because we cannot see them, but they are existence. We provide them, or the organization provide them to the people for their welfare, for their education, for their health, and so on. These were the physical definition of the assets, asset accounts. Now, let me explain to you types of the assets and why they are distinguished or different from each other. Here, we have two types of assets, current assets or short-term assets and fixed or long-term assets. All those assets which life is less than 1 year, they are called current assets, such as cash, account receivable, account payable, mortgageable securities, or marketable securities, mortgages, which are for the, no, they are not for short term, they're long term, because they have more than 1 year life. Sorry, it's not. It's a type of liabilities. Sorry for this one. Sometimes I'm a human being, I can make a mistake, but mortgages are not part of assets. They are liabilities. Account receivable is also a type of liability. Just only account payable is a type of assets. Sorry for my mistakes. So here in services we have health services, education services, but those health or education services which are less than a year, they are called current assets. But on the second hand, we have fixed or long-term assets. These are those types of the assets which life is more than a year. For example, we have land, we have buildings, office, warehouses, house, vehicles, equipments, computers, furnitures, stationery, and so on, a lot of. This is the difference between current assets and long-term assets. So let me read this for you. We have already discussed the types of assets which are current or short-term, assets and fixed or long-term assets according to the rules of debit and credit. An increase in asset is recorded as debit. Why? Because you see, this is left side debit. We received cash, it is plus. It is recorded as debit. Any increase or plus is recorded as debit, and decrease is recorded as credit. Minus goes from us, leave our side, goes to other person. They are called credit. Here I have given a few examples, 2 examples. In simple word, increase means plus and decrease means minus. This is very easy explanation for you to understand how to record assets as debit, as credit. Increase plus debit, decrease minus credit. So I have written 2 illustrations or 2 an exercise of 2 entries. Entry number 1 on Ahmed on date 01/05/2025 purchased 3-acre land for cash 300,000, and in the second transaction on date 02/22/2025 sold 1 acre for cash $200,000. So if we see and look at these 2 transactions, here are 2 types of the different transaction. In one transaction, number 1, Ahmed purchased land for $300, and in the second transaction, Ahmed sold 1 acre land. So how to enter these transactions into journal entries? I have given you, I have given you a practical illustration in the next page. It should be in here. It's okay, you can see that. So first, what's the method of recording the business transaction? We have a table of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Each column has different types of things that we have write it down. Oh my God! Sorry, I have a little bit leg problem. That's why I'm doing like this. And the first, in the first column, we write down the date. The date, remember, the date should be written always in the shape of chronologically. What does chronologically mean? Means according to each day of the month. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 30th. And then 1 up to day 30 or 31. Here, remember, see, this is on the date 01/05/2025. Chronologically, this is the first transaction which occurred for the purchase of land with a value of $300,000. And the second one is on date 02/22/2025, where the land is being sold, 1 acre land is being sold for $200,000. In here we write down the transcriptions. Here file number. What is it? File number. File number means the account number by which we understand or separate each account from each other. This is called filo or file number. Debit column, when we everything we receive something or increase in assets, we write it out in the debit column. And credit column, when the let me put it in here. When the land or cash or any asset is decreased or minus, that's written in the credit column. So let's explain each part of it to you for your better understanding. Mr. Ahmad on 01/05/2025 purchased land for how much? Value of $300. He paid $300, and as a result, he received land. Anything which we receive or increases to us, that's written as debit. That's why land, Ahmad became the owner of the land. He received, or he was the owner of the land by paying $300 cash. That's why we recorded it in the debit column. To purchase this land, Ahmed paid cash $300. It means from his capital or from his cash, even that's $1 million, $2 million, $500, $300 were decreased. They were less, they were minus. It gone from his bank, from his pocket, from his wallet, from his business, anything he can give it. That's why a decrease in cash instead of 1 million from 1 million, when 300,000 is deducted or reduced, we wrote that in here in the credit column as $300,000. In here, it's necessary to write it down. Land was purchased for cash. A question arises, why you are writing this in here? No need to write it. But the reason to write it in here is that if somebody is going to check this transaction or this journal entry, she should understand why the land, how did he or she receive the land. Paid cash, received the land. And in the second transaction, 02, 22, 25, chronologically, this was first month, this is second month. This day 5, this was day 24, 2022, year 2025, year 2025. So, as Ahmed purchased land for the purpose of making money or for the purpose of business, out of 3 acres, he sold 1 acre with the price or value of $200,000. If we see at the first transaction, he paid money was decreased and received 3-acre land. But in the second transaction, it's opposite to that. He sold 1-acre land with a value or a price of $200,000. That's why he received the cash. While receiving a cash means increase in cash. Any increase in asset in cash is an asset, is written as debit. That's why in the second transaction we wrote down the cash as A001. That's file number $200,000. But when the number of the land was 3 acres, and out of 3 acres he sold 1 acre, so the land was decreased from 3 acres to 2 acres, and 1 acre was decreased. That's why we record decrease in land as credit, because out of 3 acres, now he is the owner of 2 acres. 1 acre has gone away from him. That's minus from him. Remember, remember, any increase for land, for anything, increase is recorded as debit, and decrease for cash or for anything, when it decreases, is written as credit. Here, cash was received. The cash was increased. That's why the cash is recorded as debit. But the land out of 3 acres was decreased to 2 acres. 1 acre was recorded as credit. That was for today's. Here, one question arises. This amount is equal to this amount. It should be. But why this $500,000 is written in here? The reason of the writing $500 in debit column and in credit column is we had calculated $300 plus $200 is equal to $500. The value of cash or money for both as debit as credit was $500. That's why we calculated both transaction, even debit, even credit. We have written it or calculated both of them. 300 plus 200 is equal to 500. So this was today's lesson. I would also read this explanation to you, but they are same which I explained to you, but for your better understanding. In the journal entry above, both current and fixed assets or address. What do you mean? They involve the rule of debit and credit or applied as follow. In the first transaction, land is purchased, which qualifies as fixed asset, according to the rules of debit entry accounting. An increase at asset, whether fixed or current, is recorded as debit. So we received the land, we recorded that as the first transaction, debit. In increase and increase an asset, whether fixed or current, is recorded as debit. That's I explained to you. So cash, the first transaction, this is regarding the first transaction. In first transaction, which is a current asset, a cash, which is a current asset, is used to purchase the land, and decrease in an asset is recorded as credit. Why did we record it credit? We paid it from our capital. Our capital from 1 million decreased to 700,000. 300,000 was decreased. That's why we wrote it in here in credit column. Thus, the land account is debited to reflect increase in fixed asset, and the cash account is credited to reflect the decrease in current assets. Second, so the other one is expenses. So that was today's video. I hope you may learn more from this video. In case if you have not understand it, or you have any question in this, write it down in comment section for me. I will answer your question, but that should be related to my topic, not out of topic. If anything you want to write out of topic, then say, please, I have an issue in this one which is out of topic, please answer to me. Okay, thank you very much for watching my video, and don't forget to share my video with your friends, family members, class fellows, colleagues, those who have people, or those friends of your, those people you know them, who have issue, or they don't understand how to enter the transactions into the books of account or double entry systems, uh, share this video with them, and they will understand the rule of debit and credit for the assets, even they are tangible, intangible, current assets, non-current assets. So that was today's video. Please view, share, subscribe, and click on the bell icon, that I will be able to provide you further videos with good explanations for your better understanding. If you have any question, write down in comment for me. I'm trying my best to, as soon as possible, online accounting academy, in which I will teach you the accounting, all related topics, and you will receive a good certificate from the education department of Maryland state of the United States of America, which will be valuable all over the world for uh, receiving a job. Thank you very much.